So, you want to learn how to maintain a fish tank. Here, come on, let me show you. Okay, here you're gonna find our materials. First off, we have our spoons and our net. These for like water changes or picking up some debris in the tank. Next, we have our water gallon jug. It's gonna be under here next to this recycling bin. And then finally, for the rest of everything, it's gonna be in this cabinet. Here you're gonna find our suction device, something to clean the glass too, fish food stuff, and we're gonna have our stress coat for water changes and stuff like that. Also down here is where we have our filters when you're gonna need to change the filters. So it's all down here in this conveniently placed cabinet. All right, first step, what you need to do when you wanna maintain a fish tank is you're gonna have to change some water. So what you need, 5-gallon jug right here, boom. Then you're gonna need a suction device. This is a gravel vacuum. And all you're gonna wanna do is put it in and drain some water out. And for this, what you wanna do first off is you wanna make sure everything is off. So what you wanna do, there's a button in the back on this power strip. You wanna just flip that off, turns off the filter and everything. But most importantly, what you don't wanna do is mess with the light. So all you have to do, there's buttons on here, turn down the brightness a little bit. And then what you wanna do is take the light off. You want to get the light too wet, it's electric, you don't want to get electrocuted or nothing like that. Then what you want to do is you just want to start draining some water. So for this though, what you want to do is make sure that there's some water inside. So I'm going to start to fill this up. And what it does is it fills up this whole vacuum. You want to watch it drain for a little bit, and once you start to see it sucking, you want to quickly put it back in the water. So that allows for more water to go through, and now water is being drained out of the tank. I just want that first. Now that it's at 5 gallons, we can take everything out and start dump the water and get some new water. Now that you have your dirty water, what you want to do is dump it out in the sink.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Try your best not to make a mess. Next, what you want to do before you put in the new water from the sink is you want to make sure you have some dechlorinator. For this, we have some stress coat. You can find this at PetSmart, Petco, pretty much any fish spot. And then what you want to do is, because this is only 5 gallons and they only say in increments of 10 gallons, you take half a teaspoon right here. You fill this up, put it in there, and then you can fill up your gallon with water. Also, when you're getting water, you want to make sure when there's especially there's live fish, organisms, whatever, that the water is not too hot, not too cold. You want to make sure it's about warmish, almost the same temperature as the water, because the fish can go in shock. It's not too good. Now that you have your water, what you want to do is you want to put it inside the fish tank, but be careful when you're putting in the water. Preferably aim for the logs, because you don't want to disrupt the plants, you don't want to uproot them or anything, and you don't want to disrupt the gravel either, because stuff lies in the gravel. So you're going to aim for the log. Now that we put in our water, you're gonna notice that there's some debris, just stuff from plants floating around in the tank. That's totally natural. But what we're gonna wanna do is get rid of some of those, because the decaying stuff is gonna leave some bad stuff pretty much in the tank. That's gonna cause some algae growth or some bad stuff in the tank. So what we're gonna wanna do is come over here. And in this little cubby hole, you'll see that we have the measuring spoons that I use for these conversions. And also you're going to find a fish net. And what we're going to do is just use this over here and scoop up some of the debris.
Should we pick up the measuring thing?
Yeah. I'll go back and pick up the measuring. Now that we've got these, debris out the way, all we have to do is just dump them out.
That might be a recycling bin.
So at some point, at least twice a week, what you're going to want to do is, the plants need food too, not only just the fish. We're going to use these spoons again, but we're also going to use these 2 chemicals. And what they are is basically plant food. One's carbon, and one is more nutrient rich for the plants, because they don't just need carbon. For this, you're going to be very careful and read the labels on these. So for this one, this is carbon. It says 40 milliliters for every, or 5 milliliters for every 40 gallons. We only have 37 gallons, so what you want to do for this, add half a teaspoon. This technically is for 20 gallons. I'm gonna go ahead and add this. And then you're gonna wanna take another 1/4 teaspoon, 1/4, and make sure that you get enough for the extra gallons. Now, next step is to add these other chemicals. C-Chem. It might stink a little bit, but that's okay. But this though, this is 250 milliliters for every 60 gallons. Now, that is a lot. What you're gonna wanna do is take that 1/4 again, teaspoon, take some of this, fill it up. Dump that in there, mix it a little bit. And then you're gonna wanna take a 1/8 teaspoon and fill her up again. And just dump her in there. Now, you're gonna turn everything back on, but what's important is that you make sure the filter isn't in the cartridge when you turn the tank back on, because then there's no point in feeding the plants if the filter is just gonna suck everything out. What you wanna do is just take this out, grab. Make sure you have a towel of some sort to put the filter on, lay it there. And then you want to make sure everything is back up and running. Just put the plant light back on. And then just flip the button. With this filter, it might sound like it's not, the water might not come out immediately, so what we're going to do is just fill up this little water bottle I have next to the tank a little bit. Fill it up with some water and just kind of dump it in the filter. Let me get the filter back up and running. I'll take one or two, get it. Possibly three. And just like that. So when you do this, you might want to give it a day, maybe a couple hours if you're busy, and just let the tank cycle so all the nutrients get picked up by all the plants. Just put this back on. And that's it. And when it comes to fish tank, you're always going to want to feed the fish, to give it. But with this thing, it's an automatic fish feeder, so it's a mechanism that you don't really have to worry about feeding the fish as long as there's something in there. So what I have to do technically right now is refill it, so you can watch me do that. All you want to do is pull this out, it comes right off. You take this top thing, push a little bit, pops right off. And what you want to do is mix in a bit of flakes. You don't want really big pieces, but you don't want really small pieces either, because it might get stuck, or there might be too many of them. Just kind of fill that up a little bit. A little good amount. And then, what you want to do also is mix in some of these. These are bloodworms. It's a good supplement for them. It gives like protein, necessary, things like that. Just for them, it's like a healthy, like a snack almost, you could think of it. Put that in there.
Also helps the frogs.
Oh yeah. It's also food for the frogs. Very nice. They love this stuff. That up nicely. Now, of course, if you're planning to stay away for a longer time, you're gonna want to fill this up more than I did, but this is just for demonstration. Now you have this full. Put that right back in. Make sure this channel up here is open to your desired amount to release as much food as you'd like. And if you want, you can press this button. What's interesting about this though, is that it comes with, you can set it to program times to feed whenever you'd like. And so, you can set it up to at least 4 times a day that you feed the fish. And it'll do that automatically on its own. As you can see, the fish are doing that. So thank you guys for watching and checking out how to maintain our fish tank.